Good morning. It's funny how life is, because it was just last week at Cabinet, something on NESC came up, and I was questioning, well, what is it? I am supposed to be on the board of governors of NESC, and how come I haven't engaged with them as yet? And then literally, a few working days later, here I am. Let me start by saying congratulations, because through difficult times, you all have managed to keep focus and stay true to your mandate. So well done for that. But one must never be stagnant. And to you, the students, what I have seen here is you have wonderful opportunities. Don't confine your minds only to Trinidad and Tobago. That's the first thing. I have spent the last few years as the Minister of Energy, quite a lot of it outside of Trinidad and Tobago, promoting the development of Trinidad and Tobago. And we are at an excellent stage now. I can say without any fear of contradiction that once again Trinidad and Tobago is on the global energy map. All of the, you talk about playing with the big boys, all of the industry leaders globally are once again aware of Trinidad and Tobago. There was an article in the Sunday Newsday that I read out a few days ago when I was giving a talk, where that article referenced quotations by two of the leading CEOs in the world. The CEO of Shell. Shell is the largest LNG player in the world. Shell company, you would have seen their logo up there. And their CEO is a guy called Wael Sawan. And the Prime Minister and myself have been engaged with Wael even before he became the CEO. So we are on a first name basis. Whenever I go somewhere and Wael is in the same area, we make sure and meet. Once a year he meets with the Prime Minister. That didn't happen. Because to be able to meet with these people is not an easy thing. These are global players. But we have re-established the importance of that relationship. And I'll tell you all here in this room, the reason we do that is for you. It's for you, the young people, to create the opportunities for you. And that now exists in a big way, once again, because of that hard work. The next person that was quoted in that article was the CEO of BP. BP is the largest gas producer in Trinidad and Tobago. And that's Murray. Again, wherever I go, wherever the Prime Minister goes, once a year we meet with Murray, at least once a year, and his team, which is the top leadership of BP. And the conversation always has one component in it. From day one, we need more local content in Trinidad and Tobago and more opportunities for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Those doors are wide open. And the article I'm referring to was quoting both of these gentlemen as they gave their reports to their shareholders across the globe, talking about Trinidad and Tobago. If you could get hold of Sunday's Newsday, you will see it. So this is not politicians in Trinidad saying this is what is going on in the industry. These are two of the CEOs of global energy companies quoting extensively as they talk to the world about what they're doing with Trinidad and Tobago. Murray in particular talked about a great and strong relationship with Trinidad. That's a relationship with us. Wael was talking about taking FID on Manatee. People don't understand how significant these projects are for the future of Trinidad and Tobago. So from 2027, which is when we expect these things to come into play, and this is not only about what may be happening with our Venezuelan efforts, this is what is happening locally. When you read what Murray said, he quoted at least 4 projects in Trinidad and Tobago that they're proceeding with. Mentos, he's about to FID 2 other projects in Trinidad and Tobago, ginger, coconut. So don't let negative naysayers cloud your thoughts. And students, this is for you all. Because at the end of the day, I am not the one going on the rig, it's you all. So I am thrilled today to see that NESC has kept true to what its mandate is, but also to let you all know there's significant opportunities. And everywhere I go in the world, if it's in the Middle East in Doha, it is in Saudi Arabia, we go to Europe with the Proman Group, you go to BP, Shell, Methanex in Vancouver, all of them are proud to say how many Trinidadians they have in their operations. And many of them would have started just like you all students here at NESC doing something, and then you get the opportunities. So you all talked about bringing me here to open my mind. My mind is always open. What I am telling you all is there is a world, literally a world of opportunities. Now, Trinidad and Tobago. This drilling academy is important to us because I am pushing to get more drilling done in Trinidad and Tobago. We've been doing oil for over 100 years. It's a depleting resource. So your production of oil goes down. However, most of our operations, or a lot, are onshore, right here in the deep south. And I am pushing the industry, and especially the smaller players, to do more drilling. Because that's the only way we're going to get that oil up out of the ground. And when I saw what was going on in that rig, and I'm happy to see the number of young ladies amongst you all as well, and that you all are participating, those are the opportunities for you all. Because I've been pushing the local industry to do more drilling. And they now, for a while, have graduates like yourself with the certification. And I agree with the president. We have to press for the safety standards. It was interesting. The first lady that came up here to give the safety briefing started off with safety as a priority. The first video, safety in the oil and gas industry, safety is literally the priority. And certification is an important role to play in that. So, it is not always easy out there, but don't sit back and wait for things to happen. You have to go, you have to get it. And you've made the first step by enrolling in a program like this. We're going to push for more drilling. You're seeing it today in the newspapers. You'd see a company that has been highlighted in the last few years, AV Drilling, and they've just announced yesterday that they crossed 2,000 barrels of oil per day, which is massive. It mightn't sound like a lot, but it is huge for an independent producer. That is the largest independent producer you now have onshore doing these, and it is all drilling. You see them with their wells, they're drilling wells, it goes into production. And that is what you all are learning. There are opportunities as far away as Africa. Africa has a lot of onshore resources. You always, whenever you're in some airports in the world, you always bounce up some Trini coming back and they say, look, I just finished my 6-week stint. I was out in the Middle East, I was in Oman, I was in Abu Dhabi, I was somewhere, I was in some country in Africa drilling, and they're coming home. 6 weeks on, however many weeks off, and they come home. That used to be a real big feature, and you all are the future of that. So the government has worked very, very hard. It's not easy, always being on the go. And when you're meeting with these people, they are amongst the most sophisticated in the world. Because when you look at the multinational companies, they are billion-dollar industries. You look at them, they are making billions of US dollars in revenue. They are larger than many small countries in the world. So they are able to get the best resources. And people don't realize that. For example, what we've achieved over the last few years, renegotiating and restructuring Atlantic LNG. I know, unfortunately, sometimes our citizens don't recognize the significance. Sitting opposite the most sophisticated people in the world who are experts, they can hire the best lawyers, they hire the best engineers, they hire the best strategists. But we in Trinidad and Tobago always have the competence, and you have to have the confidence to just do what is right and fight for Trinidad and Tobago, and that's how we've succeeded. And the doors and the opportunities are open for you all. As I say, I want to see your overalls a little covered in grease and stuff like that. You have an excellent opportunity there. The region is expanding as well. There's talk about Suriname. They're hoping to take FID with some projects in the not too distant future. Guyana is hundreds of kilometers offshore, but there may be opportunities there as well. And there's always need with the service companies. So do your best, apply yourselves. NESC, you all have a huge task. I mean, you all are very, very important to the industry. And it is always good when people with experience come back and are now willing to impart it, as we heard from Saeed a short while ago. and to formulate the programs, etc., going forward. I'd like to thank the members of the media for coming out here this morning, because it's important messaging, and it's important that we let the population know that we young people are hard at work and there are opportunities that are being created for them on a daily basis that sometimes are not properly highlighted. So I look forward to the tour. I look forward to interacting with you all. I'm glad I made the trip and the visit to NESC. It's been long overdue. And the last thing I'd like to say is, it is a very fluid industry and it is changing rapidly. The energy industry globally is a very volatile industry, because on one hand you have global climate change and people are saying you have to come off of the fossil fuels, which isn't realistic. It's not going to happen overnight. That just cannot happen. But the good news for us is the first one that should go is coal, then oil, and then gas, which will be decades from now. So the industry is going to be along for a long time. But get into the renewables. So I was glad when the president talked about you looking at that, because there's a lot of work to be done in the renewables. The government is looking at implementing wind turbines. We're already building the largest solar park in the whole CARICOM region that will be completed next year. That's Project Lara, not too far from here, down in Brechin Castle. And it's going to produce about 92 megawatts, which is a huge solar park. We're going out with an RFP in a few weeks' time. Cabinet approved it about a month and a half ago for more solar that we're going to put over all of the illegally quarried lands in the northeastern side of Trinidad and utilize that for more solar as we bring more renewable energy into the grid. There's going to be a need for that. But the drilling not going anywhere, and if I had my way, I would be making sure we were drilling at least a few wells a day throughout the whole south of Trinidad and wherever we think there are resources. So there's great opportunity out there. You're going to have ups and downs in life. That's part of life as I look around at the young people here. But just persevere. Do what is right and press on. At the end of the day, it's your Trinidad and Tobago. Right, so congratulations NESC, well done for keeping the mandate going. To you, the students, you have a bright future ahead of you. There's going to be a lot of work coming on board when you have these projects, as I named just a few, and there's always going to be need for competent, confident, honest, young people with integrity who are willing to work hard. Work hard is a mantra, never breaks from hard work. So, well done, and I look forward to seeing some of you in the future, bouncing you all up somewhere. I mean, inevitably you do, and somebody will say, you know, look, I was in NESC, I am now working in some country in Africa or somewhere in Europe, somewhere in the Middle East, and it started right here at the NESC. So congratulations and well done, and I look forward to you all having a bright future. Thank you very much.